Welcome back to Talk of the Town.
Another Hall of Fame event Western New York can look forward to is the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame celebration, coming up Thursday, October 8th at the Cove. I was honored to host last year, and this year I will be part of the red carpet presentation. Joining us is Greg Hennessy from the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame organization to tell us more. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
Good
to be here. Thanks for having me.
So glad to have you here. You know, you fit the part. You look like the guy who should be working with the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame. I mean, from the shoes to the hair.
It's all about the shoes and the hair. So,
I love it. Well,
you know, we have a program called Happy Days. You look like you came right out of the set.
It's great. It's perfect.
Right.
Buffalo loves that. So tell us a little bit more about the mission of the Hall of Fame.
Well, the mission of the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame is to promote and honor the musical heritage of Buffalo and Western New York through scholarship, performance, and education, and that's our primary goal. And our big event of the year always is our annual induction gala, which this year we're inducting 15 very good inductees this year who are well respected in the music field.
15 fabulous musicians
fabulous.
who have roots here in Western New York.
Roots here in Western New York, yes, that's one of the things, is they either were born here, raised here, or they have roots and have done something, again, as Phil mentioned in the last segment, about the fabric of the community, and they've done good things. It's more about being just a good player.
Sure.
I mean, that's the first requisite, is you have to be a good musician, but it goes beyond that as to what you do in the community, how you help out your fellow musicians, what you do to give back to the community, and we judge that very strongly and passionately.
And so you just mentioned that some of the things that you do have to do with education and scholarship. Tell us more about that.
One of the things that we will be doing at our gala this year is we will be handing out 2 scholarships that Denton, Katir, and Daniel sponsor for us every year, and 2 deserving high schoolers are going to get $750 each to go toward their music education. We also have received a grant from the Jack Yellen Foundation, which we do a music songwriters workshop, and for the last 2 years we've actually 2 young ladies have won, and their award was to go into Robbie Takak's studio at GCR Audio and actually record their song with the accompaniment of Buffalo Music Hall of Fame inducted members and mentors.
What a fantastic opportunity.
So we're very proud of that, and there's some education things that we're talking about doing, and, you know, getting out into the schools, and we have a real lot of things that we want to accomplish, but you know, we need help, you know, resources and all that good kind of stuff. Because we are a lot of people don't understand that we are an all-volunteer board dedicated to promoting the music in the area. So all of us are just passionate about music and do what we love, and you know, that's why we're here. So
that's fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about this year's inductees?
This year's inductees, we have a real great class. If you don't mind, I'm going to pull out my little cheat sheet, because
absolutely
we have so many great honorees.
Phil,
and
we don't ever use cheat sheets, do we?
I
want to make sure that I get, and I'm going in alphabetical order. So Vince Blasio, the Boys of Summer, Jim Briccato, John Connolly, Dolly Durrani, the group Flash, Jackson C. Frank, which we're really excited about, Eli Konikoff, Linda Rose, Lombardo Appleby, M&T Bank is our industry award winner this year, Billy Nunn, Robert Freight Train Parker, Process and the Do-Rags, Fred Razor, and Jim Wynn are on our...
How are these inductees selected, Greg?
The inductees are selected. The first part of the process is you have to be nominated. And to do that, you have to go to our website, buffalomusic.org, and download the nomination form. Fill it out to the best of your ability and give us as much information as you possibly can about the person or group.
Anyone in the community
can nominate.
Right. So I think sometimes people think that you have to be part of the board, or that you have to somehow be connected to what's going on with the voting or the nominations. But anybody in the community, you can go out and download this form, and if you know that there's a deserving musician, I encourage you, nominate it, because you know the board appreciates that kind of input.
Because we also don't pick people. All of the nominees and inductees come from the public who have been nominated. So, and then they're judged on a very fair and impartial rubric that we've developed to try and make it as even as possible. And and get a good cross-section of, we are a music hall of fame, not just rock and roll, so all genres of music. We have everything from polka to death metal and everything in between, so we're excited about that.
And I understand there's a really interesting story about one of the nominees this year, and there's Cheektowaga.
Yeah, well, Jackson C. Frank was from the Cleve Hill Elementary School. He was a survivor of the fire in 1954. He had half of his body was burned, and unfortunately he lost his little 11-year-old girlfriend in the fire.
Oh.
But while he was in the hospital, he learned how to play guitar. And a few years forward, in the mid-'60s, he went to London, England, and was probably the nucleus of the folk revival in the 60s. And Paul Simon actually produced his first and only album that went out on the market. But he is really considered and revered within the folk music genre as kind of one of the godfathers of folk music. So we're real excited, and a gentleman that found him later in life. He had a very tragic life, and died in 1999, and a fellow by the name of Jim Abbott became his handler later in life. He just wrote a book about Jackson, and he's going to be selling that next Wednesday, October 7th, at the Record Theater on Main and Lafayette. He'll be there signing the books, and there's also going to be a film documentary crew coming in from LA that's going to film the festivities and create a documentary. There also is going to be a crew from France coming in a month. I believe in November, that's also going to be doing a documentary on Jackson. So we're real excited about that, and he's someone that very few people know about, but he's very important in the
very
in the music
influential
industry.
guy
Yes.
in music history.
Yes, when people hear some of the songs that he's done, they go, oh, I know that song.
Sure, and how wonderful that he's a great example of how the arts, specifically music, can come into a person's life and
Yes.
open up a world for them, coming from what he did.
Yes, absolutely. And kind of on that same line, what we do, one of our programs that we call the Musician Medics Program, and we have our musicians who are part of the Music Hall of Fame, other folks who aren't necessarily members, myself included. We go into hospitals and the City Mission and places like that and play for an hour. And it's a way for us to give back. Music's a very healing vehicle for folks, and we've been able to touch a lot of lives with it, and it's something that we're real proud of, and it's a very special program. Nothing that we really announce that much because of HIPAA laws. We're not allowed to really say a lot about what we do, but it's something that we do, again, to give back to our community, and our musicians do. So we're real proud about that.
And are there still tickets available for the gala?
There are tickets available to the gala, buffalomusic.org. You can get tickets online. They can be purchased at the door for a little bit more. So if you want to get a better deal, actually, it's all for donations to the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame. We are a 501c3.
And if you get the tickets, Western New York, if you get down to the gala, you're going to see a lot of musicians performing, right? It's not just giving out awards.
Oh no, we have a lot of the talking is very little, and where most of our musicians like to do is they like to perform. So we give out our awards in the first segment, and then there's a big performance, and then after that we're very excited. We get an all-star jam where pretty much anybody who's been inducted in the Music Hall of Fame will pick up an instrument and get on stage and start playing together.
And it's the coolest thing.
That is very cool.
It's so worth being there.
Yeah.
Well, for more information, we have it right here for you on the gala. Take a look and give them a call. Go online, get some tickets, and head on down.